blurry. This thing always seems to look blurry. Maybe I should went live with something else. It's been a minute. Been a minute. Excuse me, guys. Give me a moment. A little sage. It's my birthday. It's my birthday. Today is my solar return. I've had in this lifetime 44 revolutions around the sun. Oh, my lip gloss. My lipstick is popping. Got that Beyonce, that them blow lips. You know, she had them really, really shiny lips. That's one of my favorite videos from her. Just do a little sage, y'all, before I get started. Clean the space. I haven't been in this room since today is Saturday. I think I left here on Friday. Not Friday, Wednesday. Because Thanksgiving was Thursday. Let's sage myself. Yes. Just a little bit. Energy cleanser. It's been a while since I did a video. I actually didn't plan on doing this video. It just kind of happened because, like I said, today it's the first day I came back to the house, to my granny's house. Been with my granny since May of last year, actually. Her and my aunt are here, and they both have a Cancer sun, and I have a Cancer ascendant. So it's been a lot of healing going on with my Cancer energy. Really, my energy as a whole. A lot of shadow work, and that's what this video is about, called Transformation for a reason, because it's about shadow work. It's about the shadow work I've been doing. It's about what's been going on with me. And like I said, today is my birthday. Hey. Turn up, queen, turn up. All right. That's good. So, y'all, just want to share a little bit about what's been going on with me. I have been absent. Definitely from YouTube. I did a video on Instagram not too long ago, just about the fact that I have been doing dream work. I've been doing dream work and things like that. So I'm just going to give an update on me and also talk about just our energy as a whole and how a lot of times we get caught up in all these different conscious people and talking about their spiritual awakenings. And instead of us taking that as something to follow, we're supposed to take the things that resonate with our own spirit and that help us grow in our own spiritual journey, help us connect more with our true self, with our soul, and utilize that to fuel ourselves, to propel ourselves into who we are supposed to become, which is becoming our true self. It's shedding all those things that we thought was us, and it's tapping into what we really are. And so that's what I want to talk a little bit about. So the last time that I did an actual YouTube video was when I was in Miami. And when I was in Miami, I had just came back from Jamaica. I was in Jamaica for my birthday at that time. I turned 42, and when I left Jamaica, I wasn't feeling well, and going into Miami, it turned into something completely different. So when I left Jamaica, it was more feminine stuff, like a UTI. However, when I got to Miami, I couldn't eat. Like, I literally went like a week with no food. Like, I couldn't take in any food. And I remember telling my sister at the time, I'm in Scorpio energy. However, I didn't know. Me no know. You know what I'm saying? I did not know what that meant, but I knew I was in Scorpio energy. And I know now because Spirit has revealed to me everything that went on. at that time, like what I was going through my spiritual journey, what I was um, being shown. Because here's the thing, anything that you go through, instead of like judging ourselves like heavy, like I should say, like destructively judging ourselves and criticizing ourselves, we're supposed to ask for understanding as to what was going on with us. Like why did we express ourselves in that way? Why do we feel that way? What's going on? And so spirit reveals to me when I asked, but it was like a whole year later. It was revealed. Actually, it was just this past summer. Revealed to me that, of course, I was in my shadow energy. And if you don't know what shadow energy is all of the things that you buried in your childhood. So it's the things that people told you were bad, like you got whoopings for. We call it whoopings in the South. You got spankings for. You were beat for, basically. Um, it's things that people told you, shut up, stop, don't talk about that. You can't say that. You're just a child. It's things that people made you feel bad about. And it's things you were teased about, bullied about. All of that lives in the shadow, meaning it lives in the invisible part, lives in the darkness. It lives on the inside of you. It's the parts of you that you forgot that even existed, but you hear it in the chatter in your mind. So, like if you connect with somebody, there might be something that come up, like it's a light skin, dark skin thing. That was definitely one of my traumas, because I remember living in a predominantly Black neighborhood, and then when I went to the third grade, moving to a um, predominantly white neighborhood, and that was the first time somebody told me I was Black. I didn't know anything about color, anything about differences, because everybody looked like, me. And so that was one of the traumas and triggers, because being, a darker skinned female, you have people tell you that you're not as attractive as a lighter skinned female. So those types of things, that was one trauma. And that came out last February, as well as the biggest trauma I have. And this is in my natal chart. That whole light skin, dark skin, um, not feeling like being supported by like a man, stemming with my father, all of that's in my natal chart. So my Chiron, which is your biggest wound, is in Taurus, and it's in my 11th house. So Taurus deals with your value system. Taurus deals with how you value yourself, the value you see in yourself, your own self worth. And since that is my wound and Chiron's in retrograde in my chart, that means that I needed to go internally, which we all do have to go internally with our Chiron. But I had to go internally, of course, to heal that wound of a lack of values and seeing my own value. And the way that I um, devalued myself was I gave and gave to other people. That's my Cancer ascendant. I want to nurture everybody. I want to give to everybody. And then I would feel completely depleted, and I would feel resentful. Like I'm giving all this to people and they don't even appreciate it. But at the end of the day, they didn't even ask for it. And I was doing it for validation, for confirmation, and for people to tell me that I am worthy and that they love me and they're thankful and grateful for what I do. Right. Instead of me being thankful and grateful for who I am and loving myself. So this entire year has year plus has been about self-love and shadow work. Shadow work, dream work, understanding my dreams, understanding what my subconscious mind is trying to tell me, because the subconscious mind is the burial ground. It's like a fucking pet cemetery. It's literally like a cemetery of stuff. Y'all have to excuse me because I got this hair right here. I'm just gonna leave it. I'm gonna stop touching my hair. But shit, I can do what I want to do. It's my hair. But so yeah, I was burying all that in my subconscious mind. And thank you, Juan. Thank you. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you, love. Um, but yeah, I was burying all that in my subconscious mind, and I hadn't dealt with that, 40 plus years, and I hadn't dealt with my own lack of self-worth and my giving away my own power, my own life force energy, what is called your life force energy, which is your kundalini energy. That's really your currency. Like we put values on all these labels and all these things, but we're not taught to value ourselves. I don't care if you're light skin, dark skin, whatever. Love yourself, value your own self. And so when I first got into my consciousness, I was learning about those things. I was very excited about learning. I'm still excited about learning. I'm still learning. Um, but I was excited about learning all those things. But what we fear the most is going into the dark place. You know what I'm saying? Going into the place that all of our trauma lies. So I had to dive deep into my trauma. And that's literally why I had what people will call an episode or whatever. But that was my trauma coming out. My trauma trying to fight and protect me because it was triggered when I got sick. You know what I'm saying? And all that was divine. And even though, people got hurt emotionally and stuff like that, it was my trauma coming out. It's not to make any excuses, but it's just to be honest. That's what trauma looks like. And a lot of people who are spiritual, they come on here, they come on YouTube and all these places, and they talking about all the beauty in spirituality. And it is beauty, but it is messy as well. It's chaotic as well. It is traumatic. It's hurtful. It's painful. And that pain, if you can get through the pain and dive deep in the pain, you can come out a brand new you and a better you. And then you will truly love yourself for who you are, no matter what people think about you. You won't care about the judgments. You won't care about people telling you you're not good enough, because you know you're good enough, right? We were all put on this earth for a reason. We were put on this earth to really discover ourselves. Everything else is just an effect. But the true root of why we're here is to learn how to not just love ourselves, but understand who we are. Knowledge of self is the key. If you don't know who you are, you will be constantly told who you are by other people. And a lot of times, what they're going to tell you is not something that's going to help you. But to be honest, the looking on the other side, it is helping you, because at the end of the day, everybody is your mirror. We're all reflections of one another. So whoever you're attracting in your life is somebody who is helping you see your trauma. So what spirit taught me is that the more trauma you have, the more trauma you're going to attract. So everybody in your life is going to be a reflection of your trauma. You're going to have somebody reflect your anger. You're going to have somebody who reflects your low self-esteem. You're going to have somebody who reflects your depression, and so on and so forth. But the more you start building love within yourself, self-love, and the value within yourself, when you build up your own currency, your own spiritual bank account, because it's an inner thing in your heart. This is the center. This is my bank account, right? This is my center. So the more and more you build that up, the more and more people you attract that are loving as well. You won't have to say, why do I keep getting all these fucked up people? Well, it's because you have some things you need to heal. And then when you do meet people who need help, you're meeting those people because that's something that you have conquered. And so now you can also give that same type of support and love that you needed. You can give that to other people, and you can give it with a clean, pure heart, and not just because you want to be loved. We give away so much of our power because we want love, but the love is already in us. And when we can tap into that inner child love, that pure love, that non-judgmental love, that unconditional love, then we can really attract those people that can give us that same in return. So on my 44th birthday, which is today, which I call my double four, I'm double four today, on that energy. This is my pre-birth time. It's a rebirth. So for those of you who have, followed my channel or who have seen any of my videos, you know that I am really deep into anything dealing with astrology, cardology, which is the study that deals with astrology too, but it's using the playing deck of cards, the tarot cards, everything metaphysics and occult, because it helps you learn about yourself. It connects you more and more to your own energy. And the more and more you know about your own energy, the more and more you understand yourself. Because to be honest, when we're born, we are taught to be more and more like our parents. They don't really accept who we are a lot of times because it doesn't line up with what they were taught. So when you understand that your parents are only giving you what they were given, you don't worry about it anymore, right? You love them and you thank them for what they taught you, because your natal chart, it is basically a blueprint of all the things that you need to overcome So your parents are the energy that you need, the reflection that you need in order to become who you're supposed to be in this life. So even if it's really, really traumatic, I find the more traumatic it is, the more you're meant to climb to a higher height, right? So, anywho's, to get into all of that, I'm about to keep going because I have a tendency to get excited about something and go, but I want to stay with where I am. But yeah, so being a double four and everything, I I'm at a pre-birth in cardiology, and a pre-birth is right before you have a full rotation around the sun, 45 days, because they say that the average lifespan is 90 days. So I'm close to the halfway mark of that, right? And so thank you. Oh my gosh. My beautiful, beautiful son. I call him my son, but he's my nephew in the physical, but he's my son in spirit, like my son, like in the sky, and my son in my heart. Thank you, baby. Thank you so much. His birthday coming up too. He's my fellow Sagittarian. So yeah, guys, in cardiology at 45, you have a rebirth. It's like being a teenager again. It's like really being a baby again. And you start over and you're born into a new. So that's why people say you have the midlife crisis. It's only a crisis if you haven't done shadow work. It's only a crisis if you haven't come into conscious awareness that you are more than a physical vessel, right? That you have a spirit and a soul. You have a soul that wants to be free and that wants to live a life of love and appreciation and freedom. We all just want to be free. And I feel like the time that we're in right now, that we're going to see a lot of people excelling and doing things that they really love to do and walking in their purpose and their soul's mission. We all have a soul mission. My nephew, he's the king of happiness, right? And he has his bubbling, beautiful personality. And a lot of times he's like me. I have a Cancer ascendant, so I will like shy away from people a lot of times. I don't show them the Sagittarius, which is boisterous and optimistic and wants to be seen very fiery, like my lips. Um, the Cancer is the opposite. It don't want to be seen. It wants to like nurture people, and it wants to like kind of crawl into a rock, watch a movie, go in my bedroom, close the door, and I don't want to see nobody. But Sagittarius is a people person and the life of the party. So we have that in common. And so I've always connected with him since he was a baby. I called him my son. He's always been my son. So yeah, he said that's very true. That's your balance of the two energies, and it's true, right? That's the name of the game, balancing our energies, yin and yang. We're both yin and yang. The left hemisphere is our yang, the right hemisphere is our yin, right? And the point is to get in that middle center, right, where your hypothalamus is, where your third eye is, your pineal gland. That's what we're supposed to be, centered and balanced. Our chakras are in our center for a reason, right? So when we're centered, then we can actually function at our most optimal, most beautiful self, right? So, I was given the name Knowledge Butterfly. I met this guy named Harrison back in 2017. Shout out Harrison. I only met him the one time and he coined me Knowledge Butterfly, right? And a butterfly is a transformational symbol, right? We're actually all butterflies. We actually go from a caterpillar to the cocoon to a butterfly. And the process of a butterfly, cells have to die in the butterfly's body. There are cells that start to freak out, start to commit suicide because they're like, why is the caterpillar not eating anymore? Whereas the caterpillar is eating up everything. It's just eating, gluttony, like gluttonous. But at a point, it just stops eating. It looks like it's depressed, right? That's when you're depressed, pushed down, you're becoming a diamond, right? So the butterfly goes into the cocoon, it's not eating, it's shedding weight, it looks scary to a lot of people, it's chaotic. But when it comes out, the cells that actually don't freak out, that say we need to do something, we need to change. I think it's called apoptosis or something like that, the process. And those cells that stick with the caterpillar, that see, oh, it's becoming something different. So we're going to stay and see what's going on. We're going to help it become what it's supposed to become. The same thing happens with us. Everybody in our family is not going to see things different, but you start to look at them differently because you respect them for where they are, right? That's the process that we're going through right now. There are people who are awake and aware, understand that they need to make changes in their life. They need to grow. They need to see that there's more to life than the physical. They need to pay attention to their dreams. They need to focus on what their spirit is telling them. They need to not be so into their mind. They need to become one with their self and one with all. I understand that we're all connected, and that are some that still are separate. That only focus on the monetary gain, that only focus on work and all these other things, and that are dealing with stress, but they are exactly where they need to be. Because had I not went through my own stress and work, and had I not almost thought I was losing my mind, because I was losing my mind, and that was a good thing, I know that now, then I would not be where I am now. Everything I went through was so that I can go from a caterpillar to a cocoon to a butterfly. And I'm finally coming into the butterfly process, y'all. I'm not saying I'm all the way there, but I see the wings forming, right? I see me coming out of my shell. I see me accepting myself for who I am. I see me loving myself for who I am. I woke up this morning at my sister's house and I meditated at like 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, I think. And I was saying these affirmations of power. And these affirmations of power is I'm successful in my own self. I respect myself. I love myself. I value myself. You know what I'm saying? Those types of things. It's very powerful and it's very important that we do these things, because the more and more that we speak love and life into ourselves, the more and more we become those things. Because most of us know that the soundtrack that's going on in our head is normally not productive, and it's not anything that's conducive for us to live the life that we really want to live. So I'm saying all that to say is that my transformation, my journey, which has not ended, it is only beginning. This is the beginning of a brand new me, a brand new space, a brand new place, just everything. I am grateful and thankful for that journey because it's brought me to this point to become a brand new me, right? So I'm not gonna stay on here long, y'all. I really just wanted to share that with y'all because, like I said, I had not been on here in a while because I need to do work for myself. There were things that happened in my own family. I had a nephew that's no longer with us, and all of my nieces and nephews are like my children. Anybody who's been on my channel, they know that I haven't birthed any physical children in this particular lifetime. Um, but I have many spiritual children. I love them. I thank them. I thank everybody I've come in contact with, from friends that have come and gone and have lasted a season, and from relationships I had with men to my blood family, because they've all taught me about myself. They've all been mirrors about myself, for the good and the bad. And I truly don't believe there's good or bad. I believe that there is positive and negative energy, and that energy can be used the way we choose to use it. So thank you all. Thank you to the ones who follow my channel and have listened to my journey and that have sent me love and energy. I appreciate you, and I send all of that to you as well. I want you all to thrive and grow. I always say I want people to grow in the glow. Let me see, I'm right. Thank you for sharing, and I'm excited for your new phase in life. Thank you. I'm excited too, because I'm telling you, it's a lot of things that are about to change in my physical because I put so much work in that. I've been doing the spiritual work. The spiritual work is very important because what I've learned is when you change the invisible things, which is your emotions and your thoughts, those are the things you can't see. Technically, you can't see it because you acted out in this life, right? You acted out in your relationships. And even though you don't show everybody all yourself in your relationships, that person sees every aspect of you. It sees the hidden you, right? So your mind, your thoughts, and your emotions are your hidden parts. And those parts, when they come out, the people that know you best, they see the ugly, right? They see the which is really your trauma. And so when we learn not to judge people for what we call the ugly and know that it's just trauma, it's our ego, it's our protector. It's like the boogeyman, right? That's what it is. It's the boogeyman that comes out that's like, rural, like roaring and everything. You're not gonna hurt her. We created these personas because we felt unprotected, right? So when you understand that everybody has one, because a lot of us have went through trauma. This world is very traumatic. And so when we learn how to love each other, hug each other, respect people for where they are, and see when somebody's going through things that might need us, we are better off as a whole. And we can actually no longer judge anybody because we understand that we have all been there and that we are all a work that, and that's the real work. The real work is self work. There's no more work than you can do to yourself. Everything else is just busy work. But the real deep work is working on yourself. You know what I'm saying? The inside, the part that people can't see. People may not even hear your thoughts. You may smile, but what's going on in your head is not happy. You can hate yourself. I've been there, done that. We are our own worst enemies, right? Our thoughts really are our own worst enemies. And then what it is you got to question where those thoughts came from, right? Most of my thoughts didn't come from me. They came from being teased in school about being skinny, about being dark skinned, about whatever. Trivial little things. But I'm not my body. Even though I love my body now. Hold on. Even though I love my body, okay? I love it now. But hey, hold on, I dropped my cute little bracelet my niece gave me. It don't matter because I can't, this is not going with me where I go when I transform from this world to spirit, right? So it's dealing with those things, y'all. Once we deal with all these little insecurities, when we question where did these insecurities come from? Because when you're a child, you don't have these insecurities. People start making jokes about you and they say it's funny, but it's not funny to you. It's hurtful, but they don't know no better. So when you learn how to forgive them for that, even trauma with molestation, there's a lot of things that people went through that they don't talk about, right? It's taboo, especially with Black people. We just don't talk about shit. We don't talk about real anything. We real good at laughing. And laughing is good medicine. But in order to heal, even if you don't tell other people, you got to have that conversation with yourself. And once you start having that conversation with yourself, you're already beginning the healing process. Once you admit to yourself that this type of stuff happened and you were a child, you didn't deserve it, you can start to heal. That's the type of stuff I had to deal with. No, I wasn't molested or anything, but I still went through my own trauma. And I've talked about that before, about my mom's addiction and my dad not being there. Even though he was in the house, he wasn't there. Me and my sisters dealt with that. And me and my older sister just had this conversation like last night. We talked about that, actually. It just came up. So we had to be there for each other, but we all handled it differently. So you got to unpack your trauma, y'all. And when you unpack your trauma, you'll start realizing you don't get depressed no more. You don't get anxious anymore. When those thoughts come up, you automatically have a beautiful thought that combats that, a forgiving thought that combats that. Forgive yourself. You can forgive others. You can release it because it's not meant for you to carry. It's meant for you to propel yourself to the next level. So I said a lot more than I planned on saying, y'all. Like I said, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. I didn't even say my greeting that I normally say. I just came right into it, into the meat and the potatoes, y'all. The meat and the potatoes. But yeah, so thank y'all so much. Like I said, I saged it. I cleansed it. I cleansed my own soul. I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my night. I'm about to, get showered clean, put on my PJs, and watched a show called Wednesday on Netflix. I like stuff like that. I like Scorpio energy, that type of, it's like a dark humor type of thing. I like that type of stuff. Somebody get into that. I really appreciate y'all for tuning in. I didn't really expect nobody to be on the live. I just did it because I didn't want to do no uploads, but thank y'all. And thank you, Juan. Very helpful. Glad to catch up. Thank you, Juan. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your year, a beautiful new year, and keep growing, keep expanding in your own self. Love yourself. Love yourself. Because if you don't love yourself, you will not attract anybody that loves you. Every relationship, that's what I want to say. Every relationship will be traumatic. Every partner you attract will be showing you your own trauma so you can heal it. They're not there to hurt you, really. They're there to help you, but we take it as they meant to hurt us. They just showing us our own trauma so we can heal. I love you too. Good night, my baby boy. Thank you, just me, Shauna. Thank you. I love y'all. I thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all are beautiful, and take care of yourself, okay? Peace out, y'all. Love y'all.